This is information.
Before we start, a word about text editors. I like Sublime Text too, but you can use just about any text editor you like. I'm not a big fan of Dreamweaver, but if you're most comfortable with it, keep using it. The nice thing about dedicated text editors, like Sublime Text, is that your code is automatically colored. So once you get used to it, you can see right away if something's not right, because it won't be colored properly. Sublime Text will also autocomplete for you if you like that. So let's start a fresh new HTML page. In HTML5, the first thing you need is !doctype HTML in brackets. I've already set up my folders so I can save files how I like them. So here's a good time to save your file with whatever folder setup you like. Here, I saved it as index.html. The first basic tags I like to write are the HTML and head and body tags. Don't forget the closing tags. Remember that not all tags have closing tags. A good way to remember is that if it has content inside it, it should have a closing tag. Then you'll see self-closing tags like for horizontal break, which can be written more than one way. HTML is fine either way, just know that either one should work. Tags can also have attributes, which are extra pieces of info. Attributes are put inside the opening tag, and the attribute's value is put inside quotation marks. In this example, the first attribute for the image tag is source, or src, and the value is the path and file name. The second attribute is alt, and the value is professor. Tags mark the beginning and end of elements, which make up web pages. Let's add a title to this page. In case you forgot, it goes in the head element. Give some thought to the text you put in the title, because it shows up in the tab or title bar of the window. You'll also see it used if you favorite or bookmark the page. Down in the body is where content goes. I'm going to use some lorem ipsum text from Philorama that generates lists and headers automatically if you choose enough paragraphs. I used 5 paragraphs and got different lists and various headers, which we'll talk about coming up. Now that I've pasted the lorem ipsum in, let's go element by element. Remember that HTML is about structuring content. The first basic way to structure text is into paragraphs using p tags as shown here. Remember that text headings start at h1 and get smaller down to h6. Before we leave basic text, like I said, HTML is for structuring content, so we'll save a discussion on basic styling with the M tag for emphasis and the strong tag for a later video. Lists. Remember that we have 2 main types of lists, unordered lists and ordered lists. Unordered lists start with the UL tag, end with the closing UL tag, and have each item enclosed in LI tags. These show up as bulleted items in the browser. Ordered lists start with the OL tag, end with the closing OL tag, and have each item enclosed in the same LI tags as before. These show up as numbered items in the browser. Easy peasy. We'll get into definition lists in another video. Links. HTML links start with the A tag, but always have an href attribute inside it, with quotes for the destination, then a bracket, then the text of the link you click on, and then the closing A tag. Links can go to any file on your system or any page on the web. I showed you the image tag earlier. You can specify height and width inside the img tag also, but it's probably more likely you'll use CSS for this, so we'll skip that for now. No need for a closing tag here. There's no actual content inside it, just a link to the source of the image. Tables are a little more involved. I'll paste in a quick example and then talk about each part of it. The entire table is enclosed in table tags. Each row is written out and enclosed in TR tags. Each cell of the row is enclosed in TD tags. So our 3x2 table has 6 cells total. 2 rows, so 2 TR elements. 3 TD elements inside each of the rows, so a total of 6 TD elements. Forms? Well, we'll save forms for later on in the semester. So now that we have all that, let's take one last look at our unstyled page before we get into some CSS.